How to network at a conference. This is actually a really important question and one that comes up a lot. About, 2 or 3 months ago, I wrote an article with that title, How to Network at a Conference. And this week, while looking at the statistics around my blog, I realized that this blog post has blown up this week. A couple of hundred people have clicked through to read this particular article. Now, I don't know why. Clearly, somebody, maybe a conference organizer, maybe a company who is sending a bunch of people to a trade show, somebody has linked this forward and shared it with a group of people. And that's why they've been coming to read it. But it got me thinking about how important this topic is for so many people who are investing time and money to go to a live event. So I'm creating this video that's going to have 5 really quick tips of things that you can do, but you can also link directly back to that blog post, and I'll have a link in the comments section below wherever you got attached to this video. So my name is Thom Singer, and I am known as the Conference Catalyst. For the last decade or more, I have worked as a keynote speaker or a master of ceremonies at association conferences and business events. And part of what I've talked about is exactly that. It's how do you make useful connections? How do you make long-term and mutually beneficial relationships from the people and with the people who you met at live events? So I'm going to give you 5 really quick tips. Number 1, have a plan. If you show up at an event and you don't really have a plan for the networking, I'm not sure you can expect any good connections to actually occur from your time on site at the conference. In advance of the event, look through the schedule. Know what the topics that are going to be discussed are, both in the general sessions and the breakouts. Determine what is of most interest to you and where you want to be. But in addition to that, realize when the coffee breaks are, and the meals are, and the happy hour mixers are going to take place, because that's going to be your best chance to meet other people. So you're going to want to have a plan of what types of people you want to meet, and then know in advance what's of interest to you and ask people, what's been the greatest thing that you've seen while you've been here at the conference? Which automatically leads into tip number 2, and that is be a person who instigates conversations. So often people go to events and they attend with a coworker or a spouse or another friend, and they just hang out together. And they don't instigate any conversations with other people. However, if one of the reasons that you're attending a conference, and one of the main reasons that everyone attends a conference, is for the networking opportunities, you have to get just a little bit aggressive and put yourself out there and start those conversations. So the first step to that, turn to your coworker and look at him and go, I love you, man, but I'm going to go talk to some strangers. And then find the people who might be standing around by themselves. Introduce yourself. And a really simple question to ask somebody to instigate a conversation is, why did you come to this conference? What are you hoping to accomplish? When you show up and you ask a question like that, other people will typically tell you why they're there. And maybe they're there for the same reason as you, or maybe they'll expose you to something new. But that is a great way to start a conversation, is have a question in your mind that you know is going to be important and it's going to get people to open up and share a little bit about what you have in common. And to start off, the one thing you know you have in common is you both attended the event. Now, the third piece of advice, and this one is hard for some people. While you're at networking events or sitting at a table during a meal, put your phone away. It used to be you'd go to a conference and you'd walk into a breakout session and you'd sit down and maybe you'd be 2 or 3 chairs away from somebody else. And eventually one of you would look over and go, hey. The other person would say, hey, where are you from? And you'd start a conversation. But now we go to conferences and everyone is sitting like this, waiting for the speaker to start. They're buried in their phone. Well, nobody wants to disturb you. So no one's going to start a conversation with you, and you're too busy looking at pictures of burritos that your friend had for lunch and posted on Facebook. So put the phone away to instigate those conversations. Tip number 4, make sure you bring business cards to the event. I meet so many people these days who say, I don't carry business cards. And when I ask them why not, they're like, oh, it's a hassle. I always forget them, or I don't want people following up with me. I think, yeah, you do. Now, not everybody who follows up are you going to want to hear from. You're not going to have a love connection with everybody, but you never know who's going to be able to send you an opportunity, and you want to make it easy for them to find you. I had one person say, I just tell people to Google me. Well, if your name is really unique, that's great, although I may not be able to spell it. And if your name is John Smith, I may not be able to find you. So telling people to look you up on LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, that's putting the onus and that's putting the work on them. Have a business card so that when they get home, they can remember that conversation they had with you, because they just might want to follow up with you and it just might be worth your while. And number 5, you need to own the follow-up. Figure out, after you get your stack of cards of people who you met and you talked with, who do I really want to follow up with and create an ongoing, mutually beneficial relationship? Now, here's the thing. You don't have to follow up with everybody. You're not going to like everybody. You're not going to see a reason to follow up with everybody. So don't. Separate it out into 2 or 3 stacks. Have the stack that is, yes, I have to follow up with this person. They were awesome. I totally see a reason why we should be keeping in touch and growing a friendship and working towards doing business together. The other stack is no way, don't need to follow up with them. There was nothing there. And then maybe a 3rd stack where the person falls into a maybe. Because I know you're going to get busy. It's going to be hard enough to get through those people who are absolutely a must. Once you get through those, you can decide if that 2nd stack is worth your time. But you have to own the follow-up. Meeting someone once does not make them part of your network. Meeting someone once makes them someone you have met once. And there's a huge difference between someone you've met once and someone you've established a real business connection with. A like, a link, a share, and a follow on some social media platform really doesn't mean anything. In order to network at a conference and have it be worthwhile, you have to get back to the human engagement. You have to make sure that you're connecting with another human. You're seeing that person. You realize who they are and what they want to accomplish. That's when you're going to come back from that event with a real ROI that's going to impact you and your company. So if you want to see the other 5 tips that I had in that article, you can head over to through the link to that. If not, maybe follow me here on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel, or you can follow me on Facebook, or on Twitter, or something like that. Again, my name's Thom Singer. Have a great day.